Doubting. It's like if Kyle told a bad joke, basically.
I would say disgruntled.
Mood.
He's like
Kyle captaining
really?
Dota.
Is that what
Mood.
you're trying to imply?
I'm not implying anything.
It's like an insulted face, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, that sounds about right.
What do you guys think?
It's a complicated emotion, really.
Batrider Undying, man. CDEC playing
cracks.
for some lanes here, boys. Look at this.
Basskip's having none of it.
No, I'm also down.
Jirax
business.
is a complicated guy.
It's true.
He's got that's the face of 4.4 strength gain.
That's where all the muscles are in his face.
Why, Ice Frog? Why?
What have you done?
What's this plushie in front of us? Is that Earth Spirit 2?
No, that's the Discord mascot.
Oh.
I think his name is Wumpus.
I thought it was like some little space alien guy. Okay.
No.
Discord mascot.
Discord mascot.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah. Shout out to our sponsors.
Oh yeah.
Right. Monster Energy keeping us energized. Uber Eats keeping us fed. And Sennheiser Audio, the official audio sponsor of Beyond the Zone.
And shout out to YouTube.com/Purge Gamers.
That's right.
For keeping us entertained.
And follow us on Instagram. No. All right, anyway.
Wait, did you watch yesterday? Because Kyle was literally plugging his Instagram all day.
Oh, that
that
became a meme at the minor when we did it with Rich.
Yeah.
All right.
Everything that we did with Rich was ill-advised, but really fun.
Check out his Instagram.
Hot dudes
Rich
only.
W. Campbell. Hot dudes only. So, most of you guys in chat are fine.
So we have an Enigma pick, and we only have the lasso right now to break BKB, which can be very awkward.
Yep.
To try and cancel
Enigma was mega popular in SEA. It was like Genespros were willing to take it first overall. There were a couple of other teams.
Complexity picks it.
Yeah.
Although I don't want to get into I don't want to get into it.
No, please don't.
There was some
questionable
plays.
Yep.
Shame. Anyway, Morphling grabbed. What is the Morphling plan here? Is there a particularly amazing hero to morph into? To anyone's mind?
Never hurts.
Extra tomb.
Double tomb.
Tiny's not
Yeah,
bad.
That's so dumb.
What, double tomb?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, it is pretty dumb.
Yeah, morph Alice.
I just don't like that talent. I just don't like the current morph. That's all. I don't know how to fix it either because it's just such a unique hero.
It's super cool because the skill cap on that hero is just freaking crazy.
That's the problem is that people are good enough to get close to it.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the thing. And there are some things like you shouldn't be like morphing into allied Earth Spirit and stuff like that. That's just dumb.
Yeah.
Boy, this CDEC draft just
do you like the new concept
scary?
Though, of where like Morphling conceptually is now about you morph and you get the 3 basic abilities from the enemy hero?
It's one of those things that I love. It's weird, right? I love it on paper. Part of the thing, they removed the Purge, which is good, but it's still a problem. It's not just the ability to use enemy spells or allied spells, it's that you have 2 health bars to work with.
Yeah.
That, I think, is the thing that needs to be changed. There's no reason that using morph should heal you.
Yeah. And maybe he also needs, if the concept is that you've got all the, you're stealing spells and whatnot, maybe he doesn't need to be as good of a carry anymore either. I think that's the other thing. Sometimes people are just using the second health bar as a way to protect the DPS of their Morphling form, right? They're not even really using the other abilities.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, right?
So,
I don't know.
I think you got to lean into one or the other a little bit more. I know they pick Sand King into it.
Bat Undying. This is a terrible Sand King game.
Why? What? You just gave Morph like another escape.
Amazing
That's
ability.
a really good point. Yeah.
What?
I don't think that's like
the
biggest question.
How do they get Morph Ember last 2 picks?
It's a long list, friend, and it's late.
How do they get Morph Ember as the last 2 picks of this draft? What?
I will say though, EHOME's team fight is still like simpler to execute and stronger. Yes. They really just fear high ground tombstones, lasso pickoffs, but you have a pretty solid death ball, and you also have natural methods of tower push and pick off and kills. CDC very reliant on what I have to assume is either a support bat or tiny to make plays.
I think you get. I think
And you have no natural tower push.
You're gonna get rolled in the lanes though.
Enigma's
Who's
getting rolled in
like,
the lanes? EHOME.
EHOME's gonna get rolled in the lanes.
I get. We'll have to see. It's these double melee supports. They got Tiny and Undying as their 2 supports. If they don't roll the lanes, I think they're in big trouble, because they don't fight into 5v5 all that well, other than the Tombstone. And yeah, EHOME just have to like get some aura items and run down lanes. You might even go like the tanky Sand King build this game.
I assume so. And Enigma's going to get levels by jungling. I mean, maybe he can get zoned by Undying or something like that. But Lesh will be able to take towers. It's going to take a bit until Morphling becomes strong.
Yeah.
Look at that dog, it's hovering.
Well, but that's
you can't see it.
Again, that's like a super underrated thing about Morphling, I feel, is that if there's no threat on the other side, he can just go Agi in the laning phase, and he can get free tower damage. And I think that's what you're going to see happen in this game.
Yeah. What do you guys think about those odds? Pretty close. 165 to. Oh, sometimes Betway gives 1.833 for both teams.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can see.
So that's the bid-ask spread.
You can see completely even odds.
So I actually would make CDEC the favorite after the draft, but it's just me.
Yeah, that's.
You still like the EHOME draft, Kyle?
I just think it has a couple of things that give it an edge, in the sense that if you don't get crushed in the laning, like one team, CDC, huge laning phase edge. They could stomp the lanes. EHOME, tons of tower push and tempo. They could survive the lanes, take a bunch of tier 1s, get all their team fight items up first, and have more natural playmaking. It could just get to a point where you're deathballing before the CDC lineup is online. That's all.
Crystal Maiden's going to have to be careful in this lane. Not a whole lot that Wraith King can do to save her if there's a couple of sticky stacks up. Or a toss back or something. It seems like they're just planning on kind of contesting the lane. Never doesn't have any stacks just yet, so he's okay. We do actually have the Undying trying to contest this turn against the Sand King, who's got the faster fingers. It will be Faith Beyond. But that means it's a 2-2 split across the board.
How many sentries? They have 2 on Undying, so they can definitely fight for him. Prevent his easy last hits. And Enigma's just going to deny creeps, go do the jungle stuff. So first range creep denied. Next wave, another range creep denied, but then no jungle. So
yeah, but that's going to be the question, is that the really good Enigma players find a way to do something to affect the balance of power in the lanes.
Faith Beyond doesn't care about this, right? Because their range creep's denied. So this lane's going to push pretty much no matter what. Unless Eve can do like the hardest deny you've ever seen, but I don't think, the 3 melee creeps don't do enough damage by themselves.
On the other side of the map, the Wraith King, Crystal Maiden just trying to zone their opponents. Seem is actually okay in these lanes for ensuring last hits at least. That's one of the best things about Nova. So if anything's about to get denied, she can always...
They are going to have a lot of spam to put back the other way once they get 2 sticks, right? Like, for every sticky napalm, you're going to be eating... Every couple of sticky napalms, you're going to be eating another stun. I think they brought a lot of regen to the lane, though, right? Tiny's got 6 tangos. Batrider 6 tangos and a salve, and going for bottle. So they know what they're up against here. Didn't quite get it.
The question to me is Undying going to be able to have an impact here in this bottom lane? Because you give me an Undying that's not having an impact in the laning phase, and I ask why you pick the hero.
And I ask,
can he connect this pull camp? This is so hard, dude. He didn't get it. He got one creep.
And it's honestly, it looked really bad, but like it's such a small window that's why he delayed his pull. So I can't even.
Sorry, Kyle. What were you saying?
Can't criticize him.
well, I usually just kind of wing it, and I'm like, oh, I ask, and I was gonna just think of a question, right? And I couldn't come up. I just there was nothing.
That's like the 3rd time tonight that you've been like,
Thank God for Basskip, man. What a legend.
Yeah, carrying us.
Ugh.
Yeah, I've done the 12 hours of solo casting, so this quad-cast is cakewalk.
I've lost rights to the naming of my first 17 future children, but number 18, Cameron.
Wow.
Right, cool.
Lost a lot of bets.
Oh, Sentry, who's going to get there first? it is going to be CDEC. Get that through it a little bit faster. I like where Jin Q is playing. It's the it's the like maybe I can randomly gank mid at some point.
That's cool, and it's less their chance as well that if Undyne goes looking for him, he's gonna find him right away. It's a cool thing to do.
It does mean he's not going to be denying the lane anymore past this point.
But most Enigmas don't anyways. They just jungle the tri-camp area basically. And the fact that he went boots first also makes this completely safe because if he does start getting run down, even though Undyne's a little bit quick, he can always run away. And this way, when he gets arcane boots, then he's covered in both movement speed and mana.
It's interesting that this has become, I feel, the only build for Enigma pretty much.
With
The only one
Yeah.
that we see. Yeah, people going boots first.
It just
So
makes
like,
more sense.
What do you guys think of this?
What is this?
Doubling the
This.
wave.
And remember another thing that was changed,
We already
which I'm
talked
not
about
sure
this,
I agree
right?
with. But remember, like, neutral creeps don't aggro anymore. And I feel like
Yeah.
that was one of the few ways you could deal with this. Whereas
That's true,
now,
actually.
you just run in a circle. It's another one of those
It's
mechanics
really
that was
dumb.
just,
Loop-de-doop.
it was just changed,
You
right?
could pull them to the neutrals, therefore it would be de-aggroed. But the
Correct.
issue is that some offlaners would be happy with that because then if they could pull it to the neutrals, they'd be getting double farm.
Oh,
So they kind of had to
Innocence
in a
is
way.
dead. Never End still taking damage. This Firefly's got decent duration left, and they're going to get the double.
All right.
Am
They
I
do lose
wrong,
James.
Kyle? Like if an offlaner is
Sure.
uncontested, they could pull a lane creep into a neutral and get way more experience in the safe lane.
Sure,
more or
but
less.
keyword uncontested. I feel like if you're allowed to do as you please, then by all means go farm
He's
jungle
the
camps.
Pied Piper, guys. What
I think what was the annoying,
this is a
if
little
I,
bit.
if I remember correctly, it was because heroes would be like level 1. They were pulling enemy creep wave. You'd have like a
how many
support
waves can he
steal
deny?
a wave and take it to the jungle.
How many waves can he deny with this? Like, how many of his own waves can he kill with 3 waves of Radiant creeps?
I'm just so
What if-
tired
can we
of
just
this.
start asking a bunch of questions? Like, don't answer them. You know, let's let the
All right.
viewers get more interactive.
Why
get
is
involved.
blue blue?
That's where you're going to start.
It's okay.
don't
So
respond.
this is a whole wave of
Blues,
experience that nobody's getting.
Okay, we'll answer that one. Blue is blue. It's actually saddest color. Blue always wanted to be red.
Since is
It's another dad joke.
What?
No, it's not a joke. Do you know blue?
hit me out. All right. Well, he wants that last CS.
That was a
It's not quite gonna get it.
interesting sentry ward.
He's level 4.5.
Yep.
Faith
Well,
Beyond.
that's,
TI winner.
that's Dota 2, guys.
He's trying to go back to TI. I was reading, I believe we currently have already attending a TI 1, 2, 3, 4, 6,
Never
5,
End.
7, and 8 winner.
Getting
something
gone
like that.
on. This top lane, CDEC are both level
Yes.
4 already. These guys are owning.
This is what we expected, although the bottom lane,
The Undying not really shutting out the
yeah.
Sankey. But, I mean, Morphling does have 34 CS. Yeah, so he's free farming. Mid lane is 25 and 7 up against 30 and 5. XM, third point in the Flame Guard over the third point inside of Fist. Not a huge decision, but... Oh, and Crystal Maiden, Avitas comboed. He is dead. Though the trade-off for all of this is that Enigma is farming. But he's only level 4, coming up now, looking for the rotation. Never End taking some damage. James with a toss back, and they escape. How did the bounty runes go? I was too busy watching. Other stuff. Looks like it may have been all Radiant.
Hey, so
Wow.
far so good for CDC. It's just as you guys said,
Yeah, it's 2K.
crushing the lanes. And if you can slow down the tempo with the EHOME lineup, they're in some trouble because a lot of their draft is predicated on just getting ahead using these easy spells to push towers early.
And this is it's also a big difference in how the global economy of Dota has changed.
What?
It used to be with Enigma, right?
Never
that
End
you would
looking
win the early
very.
game
Oh,
economy.
actually, maybe not dead. Stick charge is helping to keep him alive. James wants one more hit and then toss the tree. Will find the
Boom.
kill. 430 comes TPing in. James will get run down, but he'll take that trade any day of the week. Forces the TP away from mid.
I just like, the thing is, right, so Alan is a professor of economics, so he of
Right.
course mentions the global economy of Dota. Just imagine an alternate universe where he's teaching, you know, romantic literature or something.
Oh God.
And he's describing how the game is reminiscent of Romeo and Juliet's quest.
Where the hell are you going with this?
I
What?
don't know.
Is that it? That was
Points
it?
to Avalanche.
Imagine an alternate universe where Gwen Stacy is Spider-Man. That's what we're saying. No.
They want Faith Beyond. He's got
I'd
the Burrow
watch
Strike
that
back
movie.
off cooldown. Can
That
they actually
movie
kill
is
him? Ember
awesome.
wants to run over
Oh, well, yeah.
Remnant, but he gets up onto the high ground, and they're just going to have to let him go. And meanwhile, they actually
Oh, they
kill
killed
off the bat on the top side.
Okay.
All right, Enigma getting involved now a little bit, bringing that gold disadvantage back.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely needed it.
Yeah.
For sure.
So the one thing I do worry about for EHOME is if they, well, it's worrying if they lose early towers, but what do they actually lose early towers to? What actually pushes on the CDEC side? That's the thing. They have a lot of heroes that can soak up farm, but I think they're going to have a lot of room to farm, right? Like Enigma can jungle, Leshrac can farm, Tanking can push lanes and farm, Wraith King with skeletons.
And that's what the Faith Beyond wave cutting shenanigans did, is they kept morphling off that bottom tier 1.
Yep.
Where in the past you just got free tower
CM
damage.
dragged back. Jinkyu coming in. Not quite level 6 just yet, but 1, 2, 3 might be dead. He's got a lot of healing once he gets out of the damage, and they will come in with the Soul Rip to keep him alive.
I love the Urn on Bat. It's so good.
You just want to be in every fight, right?
So Urn of Shadows, my favorite item in Dota.
Why do you look on bat? Just extra damage or something?
Extra damage. You don't really have a hero on your team that wants to get it early.
That's true.
It's just one of the you love having the sustain.
It's
right?
armor
and
that
the
you don't
damage.
really buy otherwise.
Yeah.
As well.
It's just so many things. I feel like bats a lot of the time are kind of lost in terms of what build-up item they want. And you also, it's one of the few items that you can fit into your kit that's cheap and also provides utility.
Yeah.
Like it's heal for your allies, which is so value, especially when you have heroes like Morph.
My only complaint, he should have bought Bassi. And then he should have disassembled the Bassi to build the
Very true.
the Urn.
But it's tough.
And then you can also put the mask into a drum. It's so value. If you're going to build Urn and drum on one hero, you just get Bassi for sure.
That is the 200 IQ build.
James, all right, they're going on him. They do finally have the black hole up here on the enemy. Avatar's combination, lots of damage on Neverend, but he does have his ultimate. James running away. That bracer keeping him a little bit tankier.
Oh,
and now with the
does Bat kill
tombstone,
everybody?
1, 2,
Yes.
3 is just running over. They need to try and turn around and kill him, otherwise he's going to kill them first. They will lose the Wraith King ultimate. Bat Rider goes down. XM is here, still no points in the chains, so he's just kind of being annoying. Flame Guard's on cooldown for another 3 seconds. James comes in, gets one more combo off, but a nice black hole from Jinkyu. Locks in the Tiny, finishing him off. Neverend, this is his second life. Nice stun, but a jump forward. Can they keep this damage on top of him? There are 2 points in the Frostbite. He needs to wait it out, jumping forward, but there was also a salve.
Whoa.
Was that Crystal Maiden's salve? I think it may have been. Tries to dodge, but not quite timed properly. Out of mana on the Crystal Maiden, and oh no, the turnaround. XM, one more sleight of fist might clean this up. Never needing to be careful. Innocence dragging himself away from the rest of the team. Won't let him get the big slight damage on everyone.
I'm surprised they kept
They're
going after
jumping through.
Ember.
XM still wants this. All right, he gets the Enigma kill. 430's here to try and clean up. What else can they find? Nice stun. 430. Oh, he's afraid of the Bat Rider.
Yeah. Nice mango too, to ensure the Ember can keep fighting.
That seemed like a win for CDEC, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
them doing their best to try to stabilize by getting a kill, and Ember just kept going with bottle, getting more and more and more. The Bat's getting so much done. It's like forcing all the heroes to the top lane, and that's creating space for Faith Beyond to finish his Veil, which just might matter.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Nice Veil game, right? Lots of other
big time.
magical damage for, lots of other heroes to benefit from the spell amp.
Oh, this is actually kind of big, though. Enigma finished his mech already at 11 minutes. That's really fast.
Nice. God, this
But-
hero just farms so consistently.
Man, he is going to have Greaves at
Nobody even bothers to contest Enigma anymore. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like anybody... No one feels rewarded for chasing around. It's almost like these offlaners pulling waves, right? Like, nobody just... People kind of do it a little bit, but they still just get what they're looking for, almost
Yeah.
regardless.
This is such a good
They're
Greaves
going
game.
on him, but he's going to pop the mech. Okay, it's not enough survivability. He's gone.
Yeah.
Eve's in there. They're jumping forward, looking for a little bit more burst strike through from Faith Beyond, trying to make the space for his team, but they're already getting slowed by the sticky. King in some trouble. Neverend doesn't have the ultimate, needs to keep on running. CDEC with a big dive. Crystal Maiden immediately forced to cancel the ultimate, it looks like. 430 trying to stand strong in the front lines, but the turn rate, only one stack, but he just cannot go anywhere.
That was curious TP. I like the play from the Bat Rider, though. Just camp it. You know, go for the Lesh immediately, right? That's the highest net worth and highest DPS by far. Like, he literally just shows up to the fight, by far the most damage dealt. Just popping ult.
Well, Lesh is the only real sustained damage source that they have right now.
Yeah.
Right? You take the Lesh out of the fight, and It's just a bunch of cooldowns.
See him kind of cancel their ulti a little weird. I feel like it kind of looked like a misclick or something. I'm not sure.
Maybe he was pressured into casting another spell or something.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
It still looked rough. It was unlikely to work either way. They're just getting run down by CDEC. They have just better dive, chase, all
5K.
that stuff.
Yeah, and CDEC, by bringing every hero to the engagement, do actually have the damage afterwards to take the tower. That was what I was worried about. They're like, oh yeah, they're going to win this early game, but they won't restrict the map control. They've done it. They've taken this tier 1. They've taken the other tier 1. They're compressing this EHOME lineup in terms of where they're able to farm.
Now, are you a little surprised that Bat goes ahead and queues up the blink here? I thought he might just continue on and go drums anyway because
you've got
there's so much counter initiation on the side of EHOME.
A blink
But
this
there's no
early just
cleanse.
owns though.
There's no
Okay, there's
cleanse.
no cleanse. Yeah,
and,
that's true.
and
That's
you have so much damage. I love when you have carries like Morph and Ember, super high reach. So you land the lasso, and there's going to immediately be follow-up damage.
true. They're always there behind you.
Yeah, you already have map
Alright.
control.
Yeah.
There's just no better choice right now.
If anything, I think we would have been talking about should he go BOTs
Yeah, but he's trying.
instead, but he has Tranquils already.
Okay,
so
fair enough. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's the greedy item.
Like,
That
yeah,
pays
BO
off way better.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think the most important point is that there's no dispel for the lasso.
Yeah.
So every lasso jump is always gonna.
Yep. If you
Always
get
gonna
if you
work.
get drums, you want it ASAP.
Oh,
Like
it is.
you would have been buying build up for it. You would have had like maybe even a bracer.
Not
But
only no
this
dispel,
game, you just find kills.
there's no save at all.
Yeah,
I mean,
no-
Bar getting, he gets frostbitten.
Yeah,
right?
there's not any of like the weak. Oh, not necessarily weak counters,
You know,
but
there's
like
no
Nyx
like
Assassin,
disrupt
right?
or swap. or
Nobody's gonna walk in with spiked carapace or something and keep you there. Even like no instant Rubik lift or anything to punish it. Oh, the blink in
that
toss
is-
back. How does this tiny? Well, I understand how he's already got a blink dagger, but that is a great timing. Fighting right on top of this tombstone. They got the 1 point in the Chains Wraith King, doing what he can,
Oh,
but
man.
turns
tower
out
gold.
zombies versus skeletons. The zombies do win.
Speaking of frostbite, any of you guys ever read the short story by Jack London, To Build a Fire?
No, is it good?
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Check it out.
Really?
1, 2, 3. All
All
right.
right, I will
He's
read
taking
that.
a lot of damage here. Does throw out the lasso, trying to survive, but he gets brought down. EHOME, big gank on the bottom side of the map, but it is not going to transition into a tower the same way that the CDEC one did.
You know, after watching a couple games tonight, it just feels like Wraith King is just such a lane vulnerability. It's like he's weak to physical and he's weak to magic burst. It
Yeah.
feels like rotating on him is just so easy and it costs you a lot.
And once you're behind, it feels like reincarnate's just not
It's
real.
just a second death. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why? It's an ability that doesn't actually increase your power level in the sense that if you're weak, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter that you're alive
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah.
You know.
And if your team is
And-
behind.
and
yeah.
other heroes have ultimates and abilities that increase their power level that are active.
Now, I will say, if you're going to have it in a game where you're a bit behind, I want to see it in a lineup like this where you have those big AoE spells to punish if they get on top of the Wraith King after Reincarnate pops. But, you know, the CDC lead is quickly getting to the point where none of that matters.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like it's only 5,000 gold. Doesn't it?
It's
feels like
5,000
they've been-
gold at 16 minutes. That's a lot.
I know,
That is a lot.
but it just feels like they're utterly dominating this game. And previous, like, what is it? 4 towers to 1.
I don't know. What does this Wraith like? Let's do the Midas math as well, though. Let's put that Midas into the net worth lead as well, because it's like not. We want to talk about effective net
Sure,
worth.
sure.
What is this doing?
My point is simply that they're up 10 kills and 4 towers, and the gold
Yeah.
lead is 5. That's all.
That's true.
That just seems kind of low. To
Yep.
me.
Well, I mean that's again we worry about snowball games, so we nerfed early kill bounties and nerfed early tower bounties, and here we are.
I don't know if it's a problem necessarily. It's just interesting, and I think that it will make certainly for some pretty excellent games as these qualifiers continue. And of course, looking
I agree.
forward to TI.
I think we're gonna have a lot of long games at TI this year. Like I think we're gonna have a lot of 60, 70-minute games.
Ooh, blink on the Ember as well. 430 just walking down the mid lane, but he's going to get caught out. CDC have so much pickoff. They can show 2 heroes in one lane. 430's thinking to himself, okay, they're ganking there. I need to get mid lane even further out. Nah.
Yep. And I love high catch lineups with an Undying.
Oh yeah.
It's just
Why is that? Just because like if the fight when the fight happens, that you have good team fight.
Yeah,
So basically.
pretty much.
Yeah.
You-
Zoning.
You just drop Tomb. Enemy team doesn't want to play into it,
Right.
so they run away.
They
but you
ditch
can
that
always
hero
catch them.
instantly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean they're trying to, they want to punish, they want to get a rebuttal kill, but you have zone denial.
This is a sick play though, and this is the sort of move that EHOME has to make. Go back to where the Faith Beyond is. Like
What?
this is how you want to play. Set up around a tower, get a huge level 2 epi with Veil off. Like take the team fight decisively.
And by the way, in a couple hundred gold, it's going to be EHOME that have the double blinks on Enigma and the Sand King. So this is a nice window for them in terms of being able to take a fight into CDEC.
And they this
Yeah, it's a
this
really nice
ward.
ward.
Yeah, this is
really
I think this
sick.
ward is the critical piece here. Faith Beyond can just set up on the
set
hill.
up.
This is perfect.
go
if they can
time,
get it
baby.
off.
And they see the Ember at bottom.
He's got to just go for it.
Yeah.
The Veil's on cooldown. All right, off cooldown now. Smoked up. They haven't revealed the Enigma Blink Dagger yet. CDC may not.
Nice.
may
Look
not
at
expect
CDEC spreading out. That
Yeah.
if they get too clumped here, they're in serious trouble.
All right, here we go. Faith Beyond. Rearing it up.
Oh
1, 2, 3.
my
With the blink
God.
away. The reactions of a god. Faith Beyond. Still a little bit survivable, but not enough. He gets burrow struck by the Morphling, and that is just what a play.
You could just see the read there in the way that
Yeah.
CDC's heroes were spaced out.
Did he
took too
see
long.
it
They
before
took
the
too
yeah,
long.
blink
I
happened?
agree.
Like,
I agree.
He napalmed high ground. They basically suspected they knew where EHOME
Yeah, I,
life number 1. Here
I think
comes
it's just
life number
process
2.
of elimination.
Yeah.
might
It's
just
like-
that Morphling.
You know no one's top jungle. No one's showing in lane. You're
Oh
like,
my
"Oh,
god.
wait a second.
They're just in. All right.
Yeah.
They kill off Innocence as well.
They found
This is what I want to see. This is some decisive Dota from CDEC.
Well, it's over and over again. I used to talk about in Dota, like a great play 5 seconds too late becomes a disaster.
Oh, half a second too late.
Yeah, exactly. And
Dota is a game of milliseconds.
and that's a great example. I love the idea by EHOME to take that fight. I love where they were set up to take it, but it just takes a little too long. CDEC
Yeah.
sniffs it out.
And they had vision at a point. As soon as you see the Tiny Undying, and you have vision
You
of
gotta
that,
go.
you, those are the key heroes to go for. But
Yeah.
they're just waiting. They're waiting. It's like 20, 25 seconds.
I mean, Batrider definitely seemed way better, right? Because if you epicenter burrow strike him, and he's got a blink dagger, and he can't initiate himself,
I
his
just-
hero's wasted.
I disagree though because he doesn't deal damage. If you can kill off the Undying before Tomb,
I think they would have gone for the other
you
two
can win the
heroes,
fight.
but they wanted to wait for Veil. They waited for the Veil cooldown.
but
and
why is
then-
he using Veil
I don't
to
think
farm
it's
ancients
yeah.
in the first place?
He's not thinking that next step ahead potentially.
By the way, I am going to differ with you on the back. How Batrider, remember a number of the buffs he got. He actually does output a great deal more magic damage now than
for
you
sure.
think relative to the
Why?
past.
Because his lasso does damage.
No, because Firefly, like Flame Break and Firefly together, actually deal a lot of damage now. Batrider outputs a lot of magic damage
What was
over the
the-
course of these games.
How significant was this change?
I'm telling. All right, I
Burn
will
duration, 4,
give you
5,
some of the
6,
game
7.
stats.
Yeah, I
But
know that. From 3, 4,
Batrider
5,
does
6,
a
but-
lot of
All right,
magic damage.
point
now.
is, you still just kill the Undying. You kill Undying
All right,
before
fair.
Tomb, or you're
Whatever.
not winning
All
a
right.
fight. That's my point. You can kill the bat if you want. He's not gonna die, and you're gonna lose anyway because Tombstone.
Seems all right. We can agree on that.
Look, we once again
Comes
agree.
the fight.
We
Yep.
agree.
Oh, they're maybe pincering them a little bit. Can they get the
there
lockdown
you
on the
go.
Ember? They see him. Quick reactions from Faith Beyond.
Ooh, that's
XM
huge.
is dead. They still want to maybe take the fight. They do get the lasso
Like
back.
on
They're
Neg-
fighting
Neg.
inside of the Sandstorm. They got to be careful. All right, that's one down. Black Hole immediately getting canceled. Innocence is dead. The Tombstone is starting to rack up, and Ember's not even going to bother with the buyback. CDEC all just collapse on top of EHOME. They knew that the Wraith King wasn't there. He's still trying to catch up on the top lane.
Radiance? Really?
And the Sand King bought back as well.
He kind of needs to be fair.
Oh, they're looking for him, though. All right, he's got Blink and Burst Strike. He'll be okay.
It looked pretty good for EHOME there with the initiation, but the problem was that where they fought was far away from the trees, so Enigma wasn't able to get a good combo off. Everything got spread out too quickly. They almost needed to retreat to the right and allow Enigma to jump back in or something.
Man, this Morphling is
Yeah,
enormous. Look at this guy.
the
15.2
game just feels
net
out of reach now.
He's gotten so many kills, too. I think that's the thing. Not only does he have 250 CS, but he's 6-0 and 5.
Yeah.
Like, Eve has actually moved around the map.
And with all this tower gold, that's
Yeah, that's the other thing. You got to remember that they have taken 6 outer towers from EHOME, and EHOME have only taken tier 1 bot. So
Yeah.
that's not fun. And now Morphling is going to have this Scotty. Oh, Innocence. Oh, they do manage to pop the Lincolns. He's morphing strength, though. Do they have enough damage? Backup is on the way. Nice force staff. He's going to survive. And now 1, 2, 3. No lasso for a little bit. Neverend is coming forward. Doesn't have a whole lot of damage. Not the best coordination either with this Yules. They waste the burst strike. James gets the opportunity to blink in and toss back. Oh, EHOME, just the communication not there. I don't even know if they wanted to keep fighting Tombstone, but it would have been nice to get a kill. Well, they're just trapped inside their base. They do get the relic delivered.
But it's, it feels so late into the game, 23 minutes in.
Yeah.
And but even when he finishes, he's still super vulnerable.
Oh, and they've got all these defensive items now. Got the Glimmer. They got the Force Staff. Got the Lincolns. Ember's going to be going for the BKB. BKB, but also still going for the chains. I think it makes sense this game, right? The longer chains against Sand King, stuff like that.
Against Wraith King.
Yeah, kite the melee heroes around. I mean, 430 is decently farmed, but there's not enough room. All of these heroes that you would normally expect to
1400 HP.
Yeah, they're all sharing just scraps. Like
1400 HP against this Morph Ember just feels like nothing.
they've got the Radiance. Do you feel like this changes very much? Nope. Probably not. He's only got 2 lives worth of 1500 HP, so.
And it'll stop Blink Daggers. It'll combo well with Veil. It's not awful, but
And we just got the big timing. Morph targets allies. Double tomb. Double decay spam. Starts to get. Yeah, I think you hit the Scotty timing maybe before this Aegis fades, and BKB on Ember too. I love this. They're itemizing to go for it. I think you just go high ground pretty soon.
You feel like
here.
maybe that needs to be a 25 talent?
What, Morph targets allies?
Yeah. I feel like it's the best talent out of those. Like, if you look at his 25 talents, I actually think that the Morph targets allies is better.
Out of those 3?
It at least has more
given
potential
the,
to be
certainly
better.
given the drafts that we've seen Morphling pick.
Yeah.
The fact that it means that you can start a fight with the double health bars already up, like you don't have to see or get in range of an enemy hero
that's a good
at
point.
all,
It's a good point.
is
It's effectively like an extra cheese. It's like a cheese or
Yes,
a BKB.
that's my problem with it. That's
yeah.
exactly my problem
Yeah.
with it.
I can this talent is a big problem.
That's what I'm saying is I would take it at 25 over
Well,
either of the extant.
That
So.
and that the other talent gives him 100% uptime. That is the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
That is the other
Yeah.
stupid thing, right? That the plus 20-second morph
Good
duration
point.
talent gives him 100% uptime.
Oh.
Yeah. Tree grab.
Is this bugged? This is still bugged, right? Or did they fix it? Because there was a thing where like your animation became the trees, and you
Oh,
were
yeah.
attacking like tiny ult. I think that's with Ags. That could be the case with Ags. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens.
I know that it's still bugged with Winter Wyvern, right? Like you permanently get Wyvern's projectile if you morph into Wyvern and Arctic
do you?
Burn. Yeah, it just bugs out.
But it's just the
It's just
the
a
animation.
visual,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
You don't get any of the effects, but it just stays as the Wyvern attack projectile the whole
Yep.
game.
Buys out Scout Scotty
Yep.
now.
And I think it's go time now. You just make sure you kill the Enigma. If you're EHOME, you need to make a huge hole.
So with this slow affecting range heroes better, it's going to be like the death sentence for Leshrac.
Yeah.
Even Enigma.
Yeah, I mean the supports are also just gonna get right click down. Oh,
He wants the kill.
cute.
Oh,
Jump
okay.
in. All right, flight chains pop.
Well,
I didn't notice when he
Oh.
took that from Ember, but here we are.
What's the cast range on Morph as well? It's pretty good, right? Because you're supposed to be using it against enemies.
Yeah, they've increased it definitely. I'll let you know when it's off cooldown.
Alright. Well, it's not going to be off cooldown for long. Innocent's getting jumped. They don't want to commit too many spells, just shotgun him down. Ember Spirit
Yikes.
is getting chain stunned a little bit. XM needs to find a retreat. Go back and heal up, perhaps. He does have his TP scroll off cooldown. Tier 3 towers already taking big damage, and with no Enigma, what can they actually do? Tombstone up on the high ground. Guess what? They still got another one.
Oh my god.
Full night vision now too.
I feel like he's listening to us and making a point for us.
yeah.
Let me.
Oh, hey, more flame. Well, here's the other thing. why did they get Morphling and Ember as their last 2 picks in this draft?
You asked it
Fifth win.
immediately. And
1,500 burst damage as well. I believe Morph by far has the most burst damage of
like
any carry in Dota 2 right now, and he can do it
Because
with
E-Blade just
no risk.
it like exists for Morphling.
Yeah.
Right?
pretty much.
Oh, never end. Oh.
We sound so salty.
It's a good draft. I think EHOME have given them too many good tools this game. And yeah, this hero is dumb.
I mean,
especially once he gets to this point. I mean, any hero with this much free farm would look great, but this is just such
I
a
really like
multiplier.
I like the design. I really
Yeah.
do. As opposed to something like Arc Warden, where I think the design is inherently flawed. I love Morphling's design. It's just it's a little too good right now.
The Sandstorm is doing some damage, but Morphling just really wants this tower. And he's also kind of just baiting them a little bit. Lincoln's isn't being popped. He's still got the Ember form. The other thing that feels really dumb is being able to just generate free HP with Attribute Shift. Like, oh yeah, hey, by the way, if I morph all the way down and then I morph up, then I just get
just healed,
unlimited sustain. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's not unlimited, but it definitely, it's like a kickstart for sure.
Aegis gets reclaimed. They are now 22k ahead. They've been ahead this entire game. I mean, all you need to do is look down at the bottom here, and you know exactly what the story of this game is. It's just CDEC.
Speaking of kickstart, I was thinking about starting a karaoke center with Nahaz. Do you think people would donate or help us?
They donate for us not to do it.
That's a good
How much would people have to pay to do karaoke with you guys?
Is that what it's about? Is this like a karaoke bar type thing? What's a karaoke center? Is that like for old people?
No, so the way they do karaoke in Asia
Purge.
is way better.
I mean, that's
ultimate
like what the
anime betrayal.
No,
wow.
but that's like what the word means. That wasn't even like an old joke. That's like, why'd you use the word center?
Center?
Because I couldn't
a
think
karaoke
of
center.
What if I say KTV?
like a
I don't
Poke
think anyone's
Center.
gonna
Maybe
know.
sounds like the Center for Disease Control, which is probably about what it would be.
That's true.
What?
Like a community center was what I was thinking of. Which
I don't think
Center.
that's what Nahaz was thinking of.
What's happening over here?
It's late. Shut up,
Jinkyu got
Kyle.
spotted. They are going to jump onto the Batrider, but he's pretty tanky. Now the Tombstone coming out. Jinkyu, where are you going to go? Straight back to your fountain, it looks like, and not in a good way.
He just that's
Never
a rough
ends.
moment. He just didn't do anything. He's like, well,
All right.
not looking good.
Dude, poor EHOME.
Ooh, blink away.
It doesn't feel like they've had
Never
a
end.
chance.
No.
Jumped on by XM. Chains him.
Kyle, do you remember when you said it doesn't feel like kills and lanes matter yesterday?
They don't.
No.
They fucking mattered this game. That's
Well,
for fucking
no.
sure.
Winning all
Yes, they
Winning,
did.
you won all
Winning
three
your lanes.
lanes.
Wraith King
matters.
0-6-5. CM is 0-11-6.
They got absolutely destroyed.
What are you saying?
That's what I'm trying to say. Kills matter, dude.
Oh,
Wraith King
boy.
getting dismantled was a big issue. Oh, got the Force Staff off. Not perfectly timed from 430. All right, they're putting their buybacks into it, but Morphling is just happily slapping buildings. Didn't quite get the melee barracks.
Maybe Wraith Kings need to just buy Blade Mail
You take
early.
the thing is right. You take 3 of those. You take 2 of Wraith King's first 3 deaths off the board, and the outcome of the game is the same.
It's that the Wraith King gets 0 farm or doesn't get the free farm
exactly.
that he's used to.
He gets shut out of his lane. That's,
Yes.
And this is a carry that you pick in part because it is a very strong laner. And
Yes.
this is 2 games in a row where we've seen him just really
Yeah,
exploit it.
I
in
think
lane.
he's been exposed a little bit. They've shown that Wraith King is not this, because I think the mentality around Wraith King is like, oh, he's a stable carry. I have a stun. I can contest my lane.
Right.
I'm always going to catch up somehow a little bit with the skeletons. But we have seen that this Midas build, especially, can get really heavily abused by the right lane.
This was a first 2 bat, I just realized, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
How do you not pick heroes?
How do
that
they not
can
pick any
blade
counters?
with
There's
against
no-
bat?
There's no cleanse, no save, no nothing.
What did they open
It's
with?
wild.
Wraith King and
They
Flesh?
opened they
But-
opened Tiny Bat,
Mm.
and the enemy
Against-
team.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, Wraith
yeah.
King Leshrac.
Wraith King
And
Leshrac.
it's funny, dude, because wasn't LC in the pool, or was that last band? Because that's at least a hero that can lane against the Batrider.
It doesn't matter if it's last
Yeah.
band. You had at least
And
2
like
picks before it.
was everything banned? Was there a
No.
Chen? Like, could they get a Chen and just have the purge creep? It's not the ideal situation, but it's like better than what they had.
And it doesn't have to be a dispel.
Hey, never end. Are you going all the way up onto the cliff? Yeah, you are, buddy.
Shadow Demon and Vengeful Spirit exist.
Oh.
As does Nyx.
All right, got the blink away. But Only one Wraith King life. Enigma sold his mech, sold his arcane boots, everything for the BKB. Jinkyu knows the state of this game.
Can you wait? Go back to the gold. How many on it? Oh my God, the kills.
Yeah, the bottom.
Yeah.
The last thing that they got was they killed Ember.
That was that mid fight before they got wrecked.
Oh my God.
That was.
That one fight that looked kind of good. Oh, they're trying to recreate it here.
They've been hearing owning for like the last 15 minutes. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Scouts the smoke. Don't find him with the burst strike. Fancy footwork. XM's in the back lines. Finds the Crystal Maiden. Pops his BKB. Works him down.
Enigma's
Faith Beyond
over
already
here.
stacked up. Enigma's just hiding in the trees, hoping for an opportunity. Hey, team, kite the fight towards me, please. Please. All right, he's TPing now.
Why did Neverend go fight all the way over there? He like entered the jungle and like blinked forward, and Enigma's down here
Alright.
like, wow, I
Guys,
need
I've
the
got
multi.
black
Jinkyu.
hole. I've got black
Black hole, he gets it
Got
onto 2. Do they have enough damage? I don't think
Morph's
so.
dead.
XM's in there.
Oh,
Morph
nice.
did die. Good black hole. He buys back immediately. That's the last thing that's really threatening him this game.
And he doesn't have enough items to sell for refresher, so yeah,
GG.
that is the outcome.
Well, he got one good black hole. Wraith King ends 0-7 and 6. CM 0-12 and 6.
Look, man, they got another dot,
Ooh, that's a morale buster right there, man. I don't know.
and now they have to play again, I believe. because
Hopefully
it-
at the same
lose-
morale level.
It's going to be loser plays on. So,
Yeah,
so if EHOME lose now, they're done. That's it.
Well, good for CDEC. That's
that'd
for sure.
be the second. I mean,
They played really well.
is that a bigger
did.
surprise you think than Gambit? If EHOME were to lose this next game, they
No,
don't even
not
make
it
playoffs.
would not be a surprise at all. The Dota that EHOME, not at all.
Yeah. So that's the same
Since that
result as the group.
Like I think the Dota that EHOME has played in the last 2 months, not a fan.
Okay.
Are EHOME like are they kind of a known quantity? Is that part of it as well? Like teams have seen them a lot.
No, they're just
This
not,
year?
no,
They're just not looking
They're
good?
just not
They're
playing.
just
I
playing
know
bad.
there have been it's some different faces, but they are not playing anything resembling the same kind of Dota that they played at the Bucharest Minor and the Shangtung Major. They just this is a team that looks very flat in their laning phase. They're not making the kind of early game adjustments that brought back tri lanes, that kept opponents guessing off balance for the first 15 minutes of the match. They're a team that just doesn't. They look like they're uncertain about what they want to do.
Yeah, they got 6 total kills. That's not good. Yeah, that was really just a trouncing, huh? The Batrider got
Yeah,
completely
there's
out of
just not
control.
that much.
Morphling free farmed. Faith Beyond did what he could to run around, and they almost had the one play. And then as soon as that got thwarted, it kind of felt like, oh, what do we do now? We didn't turn the game
Yeah.
with our one strong hero having some items.
And the other thing is that Enigma jungled, and he got a mech at a really good time. But mech is an item that like helps you push you over the edge of winning a team fight. But they weren't even close enough to do that. So mech wasn't going to make a difference there.
He bought the mech, then he got shotgunned. Well, not shotgunned, but like they jumped him. He popped
Yeah.
the mech and still died. I was like, oh,
So fast, yeah.
And I just,
And it looked like one of those games where he actually just should have gone like blink rush or
Maybe.
something.
And I think with Enigma, it used to be like when you had Enigma in the jungle, it was like a fourth lane, and you were getting an economic advantage. Now you're losing control of your lanes.
Yeah.
You're losing the ability to contest bounty runes. You're giving up denies in lane. It's an economic liability unless you have a plan for the Enigma to change the balance of power in some of the lanes. So
Agreed. A total economic liability.
asswad.
This is why I
What?
think they needed a better trade deal.
Oh.
And that would have potentially.
I'm done.
I mean,
Go to- is it time-
this is the region for
is it time
trades,
for a
really.
break?
Yeah.
It's time for a break, thank God.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. We're going to have our next match coming up in a few minutes. It's going to be Team Aster versus EHOME, an absolute must-win for EHOME to keep their hopes alive here. I hope you come back here in a couple of minutes and join us for that.